Hello everyone, I hope you're doing fantastic. Today is going to be a really fun video and also encouraging for me. So we're going to talk about the series that I have yet to finish and I am going to finish. I did a previous video talking about the previous series I'm not going to finish, so if you want to see that, click in the cards. But we have a lot of series to talk about, like a lot. So let's get started. The first one is Dune by Frank Herbert. I read the Dune Messiah. I read the first one and I had very mixed feelings, but I decided to continue, and the beautiful covers were inspiration to that will, which is so like superficial, you guys, but it's just really beautiful and it just looks so nice on my shelves. But if this sucks, obviously I'm not going to continue, but I do plan on like trying it out. The next one I'm actually very excited to continue. There are 2 books left in the series, and that's Hyperion Cantos by Dan Simmons. This is Endymion, the 3rd book, and there's also a 4th one. I think it's called The Rise of Endymion, and I'm really excited to get to this. I originally picked them up because of the covers, but it's like a science fiction fantasy, and it's just brilliant. It's a slower read, it's quite complicated, and I had like so many feelings about the first one, but like at the end of the day, I just really love the series, so I'm really excited to continue, and hopefully I'm gonna read the last 2 books in the last 2 months of this year. That would be great. Root for me, you guys. Next we have Crooked Kingdom, and I do realize in my other video that I said I wouldn't read this, but maybe I will. I already bought the audiobook and I already read half of it, so I'm gonna try to finish this. We will see what happens. I still have plans on finishing this, and then I'm gonna be reading nothing more by Leigh Bardugo. That is it. I am out the door, but hopefully I will get to this because it would be nice to just finish the story, you know? Next is a series, the next one, I can't believe I haven't gotten to this yet. I bought this when it was released, and that is Blood Witch. This is the 3rd book, I believe, in the Witchland novels, so I have read the first 2 as well as the prequel, which was so good. The prequel was like amazing, and such a cool story format, so I have been excited for this for a while. I remember when I read the first 2, I was kind of getting into adult fantasy and I thought they were so slow, but now I've read so many slow like fantasy books, so I think actually I'm gonna enjoy this more now because it's more what I'm into. So I am really excited to get to this, and I don't understand why I haven't yet. I'll definitely get to it before the year is out. Next we have a series that I actually really didn't like the first book, but then I found the 2nd book at a thrift store, so I am going to continue. These books do get better. Everyone says they get better. This is Mark Lawrence's first series. There we go. These first books. This is the King of Thorns, the 2nd book in the Prince of Thorns series, maybe? I feel like they're called something different, but this has a very unlikable main character, and although I like that aspect, the aspect I didn't like is that it's just so disconnecting for the reader to read. I feel like the plot wasn't there, whatever, but I am really excited to continue and get into like a thicker novel by him, and I really like his other series, so oh yeah, we should talk about that one next. Anyhow, 2 more books in this series. I hope I'm gonna get to at least this one at the end of the year. The next one here, we have his 2nd series, the Ancestor series, so I don't have Holy Sister right now because I'm waiting for the paperback edition. This is the 2nd book, Grey Sister. I love this book. I was a little bit doubtful about the first one, but then this one is just amazing. It has just a kick-ass Nona, the main character. She's so kick-ass. It has a lot of great like lesbian romances. Loved it. I think I still haven't read the, have I? Oh no, maybe I did read that. Did I read that? No, I didn't read that. I haven't read the 2.5 book, so I need to read that little short story thing before I hop into Holy Sister. I have heard mixed things about Holy Sister, so I won't get to it until this version comes out, but I am really excited to finish the trilogy, and these characters, I love them, so excited for that. Next we have this series. This is the Blood Song series. This is the 2nd book, Tower Lord. I think it's just 3 books for now. I don't know if that's the end of the series. The next one is called Queen of Fire, and yeah, November and December is just gonna be a full-on fantasy month for me. I'm gonna get to read so many fantasy sequels. Get ready, you guys, because it's gonna be intense. This book is like 730 pages, so that's exciting. I'm really excited for the series. The first one was just amazing. I think I gave it almost 5 stars. So I'm really excited to get to this, and I can't wait. Love this main character as well. Then we have a book I picked up on my last reading vlog when I went to the book fair. This is The Red Threads of Fortune by Ya Yang, and this is kind of it's a high fantasy, but it's written in a very low fantasy type of writing style, which makes it very unique. It is definitely not a very involving fantasy, but it has a lot of books in the series. I think there's almost 6 books in the series, and I'm really excited to get to it. This is the second one. The first one is called The Black Tides of Heaven, and they have just beautiful covers. I love these covers. It's an Asian inspired fantasy, and the author is also Asian, and it has a lot of what is called own voices. It's an own voices story, which is cool. Yeah, I'm excited to get to it. Then, you guys, we have the series. I think I'm more than anything excited about this series. Of all of these, this is what I'm most excited about. So this is the Expanse series. I haven't read the 4th book since I don't remember when I finished it. It must have been March, maybe, even February. It was a long time ago since I last visited the series. I did have some problems with the 4th book, but I've heard that the 5th one is amazing, and it's a little bit shorter than the 4th one, which I think bodes well for the series. This is just an epic sci-fi space opera. It's just amazing. You get to follow all these cast of characters. The main character, Holden, he is somehow always put in situations where he has to speak for all of humanity, or he has to be the diplomat when humans are fighting over new planets and stuff, and it's just, he's a good protagonist because he's so the perfect protagonist, and all of these characters around him are just, I really like the story and the space theme of it, the zombie theme of it, all the viruses, all the problems. It's just Expanse is such a great series. If you love sci-fi, you have to read these no matter what. So I'm really excited to get to these. I know there's an 8th book out, but they haven't released it in these paperback editions yet. So I'm gonna get to the 5th one probably even this month, even though I didn't include it in my TBR. So I'm really excited for the series. Next we have a manga that I actually don't have plans on finishing or continuing with this soon, but I am going to continue with it. So it definitely deserves a place on this list, and that's Fullmetal Alchemist. This is volume 1, 2, and 3, and I want to continue buying these editions. So 4, 5, and 6 is gonna be next, and then 7, 8, 9. I think there's only 3, but I might be incorrect, but this book these manga series just it has so much hype. It's a fantasy, and they're both alchemists, and I really like the premise, and I did enjoy it, but it just wasn't my favorite manga. So I am excited to continue, but I don't think I'm gonna pick the next one up this year. Yeah. Next, before we continue with the fantasy, I want to talk about some comics. The first one is White Sand. This is a Brandon Sanderson Cosmere Universe comic. I know the 2nd one and 3rd one are released. The 3rd one just got released, kind of. And the 2nd one, I don't think they have it in the floppy comic books. I think they only have it in the hardcover, and they are so expensive, you guys, insanely. So I'm really actually just waiting for it. I liked it, but I didn't love it, especially for Brandon Sanderson type of level, you know? But the artwork is really cool, and the way they structure the squares is not in a square, which I like, and I think it's just sometimes I didn't read it consecutively. I just kind of read it when I felt like it, so I got a little bit disconnected from the story, but I'm really excited to continue. This world is super cool. Kind of reminds me of Dune, actually. Then we have, this one I actually haven't read. This is Rick and Morty Volume 3. I am going to read all of them. I don't even know how many they are. I would guess 5 maybe? Yeah, I think there's 5 of them, so I'm just gonna continue with these when I feel like it. It's just one of those things you pick up whenever you feel like it. They're really amazing. Also, the show, season 4, is coming out in November, so I don't know if I should read them before. Maybe there's hints in these. Maybe they're connected somehow. But I'm not gonna finish it before November. Oh well. You know, I'm just excited for the TV show. Then we have the Adventure Time comics. This is the 2nd one, and I've only read 2, and I don't know how many there are of these, but I know there's more. Oh, and they always have just amazing like cover art at the back of the book. Like that's my favorite part, you guys, in like loads of different styles. So as it turns out, the author of this is Ryan something. There is like 17 books or something, and then there's like this other author who's written the like another edition of these, probably published by another company. This is the Kaboom editions. And then I know there's like side editions. I have, for example, Marceline, the Vampire Queen, a side comic. So there's like endless comics is what I'm assuming. So what I'm just gonna keep on keeping on. Then we have The Wheel of Time. So I read this like the first week of summer, and this is the second one, The Great Hunt. So I am going to read this series because I am going to get to the last 3 books, which Brandon Sanderson wrote. And I am so determined on this. I'm going to read all of them, even if I hate the first like 11 books, okay? I didn't love the first one, The Eye of the World, and I think it's kind of the books you should read closer up to each other, because I don't remember I kind of remember everything because it's slow and it took me a while. But everyone's saying that there's so many hidden like messages and things you miss if you don't, for example, take notes or read stuff like online or tell you about like connections, things you missed. I don't know if I'm ready to be that committed to the series, and I think you love it more that way. And I've also heard the first 4 books is a little bit slower. No, first 3, and then 4 and 5 gets better, and blah blah blah. At least that's what I heard from Murphy. I think that's what her channel is. So it is a little bit hard for me to start this because it's like it craves a lot of commitment. I don't know if I'm ready for that. But I really am going to continue with the series if I get to it at the end of the year, which I will. After that, we have a book I realized I talked about in my series I'm not gonna finish series, like book. It's because I'm like 50-50 on this, okay? So you really have to make me make up my mind. This is Mad Ship by Robin Hobb, the second one in the Lifeship Traders trilogy, and I kind of enjoyed the first one, kind of hated it. I don't know if I gave it, I think I even gave it 3 stars, maybe 2. But I really want to see where it goes, and I know the last one is not as good as the first 2, and I didn't even like the first one, so I'm very cross, but I already have it, you know? It's just that it's like 850 pages. So if I don't like it, it's like, woo, that time wasted, you know? And there's a manga I forgot to talk about. Here is Death Note. I am really enjoying this, but I am having a harder time like getting back into it after such a long break. I have all the comics at home, so I can just read them if I want. I'm going to continue with the series at my own tempo. Then we have a book that I talked about in my TBR video. This is Accidentally Demonic by Dakota Cassidy. So I am going to read this one, which is the 4th book in this the Accidental series. It's like a supernatural chick flick in a way, and because I just had it on my TBR for such a long time. But I am gonna predict I'm not gonna continue with the series. I think there's like 12 books, you guys, and it's the same plot basically the whole time. Someone gets accidentally turned into something. But I am gonna continue with this one hopefully this month, and then I can toss that series out the window, not literally, but out this air. Maybe this one. Whew, only 2 series left, you guys. Then there's this series. This is the 7 Realms series, the third and 4th one, I believe, and I really should get to these. I'm a little bit mad at myself that I got these editions, because originally I have these editions, and now there's 2 different editions on my bookshelf. Look at the horror of those together. But I am gonna finish this series, and I was planning on reading 1 in November and 1 in December, so I can also leave the series behind and continue with, I think the next one is called Stormcasters. It's like the same world, but another series. So I've heard those are even better, so I'm really excited to finish this series so that I can continue in this world. That would be awesome. And the last one is Saint's Blood by Sebastian de Castell. And the first 2 are called Traitor's Blade and Knight's Shadow. This is the next one, and then I know there's a 4th one. I know that there is a 4th one. Oh my god. So hopefully I can read those 2 in the last month of this year. As you can see, there's gonna be a lot of fantasy in the last 2 months of this year. It's ambitious, but I'm really hoping I can make it. So that's exciting. Great series. I don't know if the 4th one has come out in a paperback. I'm hoping. Wow, I just threw all this book on the ground and there's like a pile there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment below if there's any series that you recommend I would get to sooner rather than later, and if you have completed any of these series, tell me your thoughts. Thank you for watching, talking about books with me. I hope you guys all have a brilliant day. Stay magical, keep reading, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!